Welcome to the Monkees podcast. See, it's a pod. It's a Monkees podcast. My name is Tekurah McCullough, and I am here with our co-host, Lee Quick.
Oh, I didn't know I was a co-host.
Yes.
I thought I was a guest.
No, everyone, there's no such thing as a guest here.
I feel responsibility now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm excited about it.
I'm excited that you're here.
Monkees time.
Woohoo! So, Lee, what is your Monkees experience background? Monkees background, that doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. What's your experience with the Monkees?
Oh, I think I saw every episode in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember them a little bit from being little.
Right.
I remember being teeny tiny and knowing who the Monkees were. Probably putting them on a par with the Beatles. Same thing.
Of course.
Monkees have a TV show. The Beatles have a cartoon. Right. Pretty equal, right? And the Beatles cartoon was terrible. So I probably thought the Monkees were better.
Yeah, they were actually people.
Yeah, but that helped. So in the 80s, when I think it was MTV started re-showing all the episodes, and I'm pretty sure I watched them all.
Right.
And I don't think I ever owned a Monkees album. But I do remember having a little crush on Mike.
Yes.
Being a little girl, it's like, oh, Mike, I like him. He's Southern like me.
Oh, okay. Which is unusual for a little girl. Little girls usually don't care for the mic. People usually grow into the mic appreciation.
Well, I'm an oddball. I'm also kind of introverted and strange. I think Mike and I might have a little bit in common. We might be slightly on the spectrum.
Gotcha.
And, he's from Texas and I was from near Texas. So that was close enough for me.
Awesome.
And, he had that sort of a dry, sort of sarcastic, kind of, or sardonic, perhaps, personality.
Yeah, a friend of mine was saying Mike, out of all of them, Mike was the one that was most like an adult. And that's what probably turned millions of girls off.
He was probably like the dad figure in this group.
He really was. He was the most adult-like.
Maybe the older and the wiser, maybe sort of a little bit of a personality. Sure.
So the Marion librarian.
I saw Head as an adult.
How?
I mean, much, much later on. I just was like, I've always heard about this movie and I've wanted to see it. And fortunately, I did get high first.
Oh, well, good.
And I loved it.
Really?
I did.
Most people hate it.
I loved
it.
When it came to the end, where it loops around, same as the beginning.
I haven't seen it since I was a teenager, so I don't remember anything.
I was like, wow, this is the best movie ever.
The movie that speaks to Lee.
It did at that moment.
At that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm so shocked that you really enjoyed it. But I guess being high made all the difference.
It hit me in the right day, the right mood, the right high, the right everything. I was on board.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I feel like I should get down to business. I would just love to just talk about how much you love that movie. As a musician, I feel like I should get into your background a little bit. I know Lee as, number one, an awesome comedy fan, but then I found out that Lee is an amazing musician.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I play and sing a little bit. I teach.
Yes.
I think of myself more as a teacher than a performer, but I've always done a little bit of performing. I almost think of the performing as like, oh, I can learn from this and then I can teach about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so because I'm not really a natural performer, but I enjoy the challenge and the odyssey, the quest.
Quest to perform.
I play a little bit, sing, play guitar, write songs a little bit. Of course, I'm a bassoonist.
Of course,
as we all are.
Everyone.
And sing. I teach bassoon. I love orchestra and band, and so I've got this like foot in both worlds: classical and pop rock. 20th century music in general. I was a Beatles fanatic. And learned to play guitar because of the Beatles. Just sort of built up my record collection based on Beatles. Well, actually, it started with the Bee Gees. This is hilarious.
Bee Gees to Beatles.
I loved story. They were my first crush, my first band, Bee Gees. And then I got the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
There's your bridge.
Soundtrack.
There's your bridge.
And I was like, oh, Beatles. They probably have some good stuff. I should check them out. But I bought a few Beatles albums, but I didn't buy the original Beatles Sgt. Pepper because I figured, well, I already have the Bee Gees soundtrack. What do I need the Beatles version for?
Same thing.
It's the same, right? It's all the songs are the same.
Wow. Wow.
So I did get it eventually, though. I came to my senses.
All right.
Yeah. So in the sense that I have a little music performance experience. Yes.
Yes.
Were you leading me down a path
I just wanted our listeners to know a little bit about
that I can be found at leequick.com?
Yes, I was going to save that part for the end. But just like telling them, why would I want to go there? Because she's a musician. That's why. She's awesome.
I earned the right
awesome 15 times so far.
It's an awesome word.
Okay.
I've earned the right to call myself a musician because I did get a degree.
That's all it takes
in music. So I'm in debt, and I'm a music teacher.
Oh no! Wait, you just made me sad for a second.
No, it's the biggest joy in life is teaching other people to play instruments. I love it so much.
My students are so excited. We're assigning instruments this coming week, and they are still so excited.
And I think it's hilarious that one of them said, "I'm not sure if this is the violin I played last year. Let me smell it."
That was the best.
Nope, not the same one.
When she said that, I started hitting my desk saying, I'm so happy this is happening. I'm so happy this is happening.
Great.
I thought, that student, she's a weirdo. Okay. Speaking of weirdos, we're going to watch some weirdos. We are on episode number 3, Monkee versus Machine, written by David Parr, directed by Rob Rafelson. Stan Freberg, is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Stan Freberg stars as a headstrong company man who plans to automate an old-fashioned toy company. Do you remember this one?
I'm not going to remember.
It's a Mike one.
Any of them. Really?
Yeah, this is a Mike one.
In fact, the only one I remember is maybe my favorite episode, which is the live one, the live concert one.
Oh, see, I did not watch that one.
Okay.
I was like, ugh.
Wow, Stan Freberg. All right.
Here we go. Monkee versus Machine. Welcome back. We're back. Hey, we just watched the episode Monkee versus Machine, which actually is one of my favorite episodes.
It's good.
I have to say. It's
a good one.
Really love this episode. And it was exciting to see it. As you may know, I tend to watch the episodes on my tiny TV or on my computer, my non-HD player. And so it's exciting to see all the little toys that are on the wall of the office, because usually they're just tiny blobs when I watch the episode. So.
Yeah, it looked surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I was, it didn't, come across as cheesy looking or anything. Right. It really holds up.
That Blu-ray is a wonder.
Yeah.
All right. So not quick. We'll just.
Always quick.
Way quick. All right. So first thing I noticed is laugh track, just like right off the bat. It's just
wow. You know what? And it didn't even occur to me because it was such a natural part of television, especially television comedy. There was no such thing as a comedy without a laugh track.
Yeah, it's just so jarring nowadays. So we start off with the phone. Wait, is it the phone ringing? Yeah, we start off at the pad. We're at the Monkees pad.
Yep.
And
the landlord is calling.
Mike answers the phone. Why? Because he's the adult.
He's daddy.
He's dad. And there's no rent. And so they're like, oh, what jobs are available in the paper? And there's a little funny bit about the line.
Remember the newspaper?
What? God. Yeah, so
boys and girls before the internet. There was this thing called the newspaper.
Yeah.
And everything was in it.
Actually made of paper.
Yep. And the yellow pages.
Oh, the yellow pages.
You're like, how did you find anything before the internet? It was all there. We had telephones and everything.
Oh, telephones. Can you imagine? All right. So, there's the funny bit about feeding the lions, and then Mickey turns into a little lion tamer with a little lion head on the wall, and then delivering pianos on a bike,
bicycles,
and Davey's on the unicycle in the apartment, as you do.
Sure, it's nonstop jokes.
It's just fun.
Yes.
But then there's the toy factory job. No, what is it they said? No experience, no education.
Yeah, no nothing. Peter.
Oh, my poor baby. So Peter is excited to apply
Peter's
for
the
this
dumb
job.
one, in case you're not. Yeah.
Familiar.
Well, I don't know. Dumb is the wrong word.
that is
innocent. Maybe.
Yeah, but no, he was the dumb one. My favorite one was the dumb one. I know. One of my favorite bits, them putting Mike tying a tie around his neck in a knot. Telling him to remember 3 words. I'm sorry. I just ruined the joke. 3 words, don't argue.
But that's only 2 words.
Starting already. Yeah. So good. So poor Peter goes to take the interview. I don't know why there's a secretary in this office at all.
To direct them to the computer.
To go in this room. Bye. So he goes in the room, and then it's the computer, the 1966.
Well, thank God there was a receptionist, because otherwise there'd be no women at that company. She is the sole female employee.
Yes, you're right. I should not make fun of her. Thank you.
Although
the representation,
since all the other employees are in computers, I was at least happy to see gender representation. One of the computers was a female.
Petunia or Petula or something.
Petula.
Yes. Petula.
So we got gender representation.
Petula, the computer.
I love 1966 computers so much. They look like big copy machines, and they're covered with buttons that are all, you never know what they do.
They light up.
And they spit out punch cards.
I love punch cards.
I miss them.
I do.
My first semester of college, I registered for college using punch cards. It was 1983.
Wow.
And they were still using punch cards.
Oh, that's fun. My dad used to work for Hewlett Packard, so punch cards were toys I would play with.
Yes. Here, play with these. A few extra punch cards left over. By the way, punch cards don't say anything. They're they're cards that have holes in them.
So if you're reading a punch card, you must be reading what, binary? I don't know what you are reading.
00001.
Yeah. So a whole bit about not what nitwit. Peter's confused by the interview.
Who's on first thing.
It's so beautiful.
With the computer, which of course, I mean, I don't even know if a computer could carry on a conversation like that today.
Well, isn't that the plot of Blade Runner?
No one in the 60s understood what a computer was, what it could do, anything about it. It was basically just a huge calculator. But for some reason in the TV in the 60s, they're all talking. Yes. They all have advanced AI. They all
want your job. They want something from you. They have agendas.
They're taking your job.
Taking your jobs.
It's 70 years ago. I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. No, it's 50.
I can't do math.
I wouldn't know.
I need a computer.
Because I was not born in 1966, and I would not happen to know that is exactly 53 years ago.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just really good at math.
Good job.
So,
solid guess.
But in the, pardon me, in the 60s, computers were fantasy
they could do
machines. They could do whatever you decided they could do.
Yeah.
For comedic purposes.
Yes. We don't know what to do in this scene. We need something to further the plot. Throw in a computer. Yay. I honestly, sorry to say, I honestly love this bit. That's what I wrote in my notes. Then I wrote special effects. Why did I write special effects?
Was that because?
No. Oh, I know what it was. Like all the sound effects. That's what I was.
Oh,
there's so many sound effects.
It's pretty funny that they have like the graphics that will pop up, like little frames and little comments. I completely forgot.
I love that.
That was a thing, and it almost gives it that graphic interest, like you're looking at a comic book, just a little bit. And
they were really
early. I guess they did that in Batman too, right?
That's true. Around the same time.
I'm not a Bat fan, but I do remember that show a little bit. But yeah, the sound effects, it's so funny. You can't really have a physical like punch without a boing. Or a...
Yes, like Mike smacks Mickey on the head. Clong. I'm like, okay, we get it. We hit him on the head.
Very cartoon.
Yeah, so Peter is called a nitwit and a woman, which is, terrible.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no. But he does not get the job. And the secretary knows immediately. That door slides open. I'm sorry. You have been rejected.
Pretty hilarious.
It's like, how did she got a punch card? So Mike, we go back to the pad. Peter is sad. Mickey makes a joke, gets hit. Mike to the rescue. Dad comes back to give that computer a good what for. Just snarky.
Classic turning the tables.
Yes.
He turns the tables. He gives the computer a dose of its own medicine.
Oh, yes.
And like all computers of this era, it gets confused and it starts smoking.
Yes.
This is what all computers did.
They're steam driven.
This is even pre 2001: A Space Odyssey even.
Wow.
Where the computer gets talked, it doesn't, he had to physically remove things to make the computer go down. But in TV comedies of the 60s, all you had to do was talk a computer into confusion.
Yeah, a logic loop. Yeah,
and it would smoke.
It would smoke and shake,
overheat, and then maybe explode or catch on fire.
I do like the little bit of like little sexual like conversation that Mike is having with his computer when he's like, he says sex please, and then like the computer starts to shake and like smoke, and then Mike says, "Oh, I bet you're a real swinger when you get turned on."
That's right.
It's like, oh my goodness,
the swinging reference.
What is happening on my children's show?
It was such a part of the culture at the time that people were getting used to this idea of hippies and swingers. It was extremely edgy type stuff.
But shaking punch cards come out, poking, and then Mike sits down all innocent like, and Stan Freberg appears, and
who is hilarious.
So good. I love this episode, I have to say. And this is my only experience of Stan Freberg. I know he is a giant of cultural significance, but I am way ignorant of Stan Freberg.
I think I've seen his face maybe once before. I'm familiar with his musical parody or musical comedy music.
Mm-hmm.
He is responsible for Hello. Hello,
Father.
That's Alan Sherman.
Oops, sorry.
No, Stan Freberg.
I don't know.
I'd have to look him up. I can't believe I'm blanking on what he's famous for.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody.
But he was hilarious in this episode. He was very funny.
I don't even know what his character's name is. He is just Stan Freberg. Comes in very upset about the computer, clapping his hands. Nasty, nasty, he says to the computer. Scolds the computer. Oh, Mike is a genius. Must be hired on the spot. So introduce him to the president of the company, which is JB. Good bit about Mike thinking he's talking to who's the president? Johnson? Is it Johnson?
Oh yeah, there was a Johnson reference. He was so he thought he was going to see the president, and he said, "I'm a big fan of your war on poverty."
I love it. So
LBJ ref.
LBJ, but it's just JB. I don't know who that actor is. I should have checked who that actor is because I really enjoyed the performance of the.
They were all good.
The befuddled president who doesn't do anything until Stan Freberg tells him to do it. Meet the machines. Yeah, so he's hired as Stan Freberg's personal assistant and is taken on a tour to meet the machines. And I wonder what those machines actually do. There's no way those machines can actually make toys.
Well, they're supposed to be designing toys, but like in this era, really, computers were big calculators. They made calculations.
That's all those computers were doing.
And the idea of them doing something creative or coming up with something is just hilarious.
They weren't even manufactured. That's the thing that bothered me. They're not even manufacturing machines. Those machines were just made to add things up.
Right. Yes.
But Mike was still going to shake their hands, though. He was reaching out to shake hands with the machines. And Stan Freberg said, "Don't do that." Now, are you familiar with that being a returning bit throughout all the Monkees episodes?
Oh, no, I'm not.
They got that from Stan Freberg. And in almost every episode, somebody says, "Don't do that."
So this is where it started.
This is where it started.
Okay.
The "don't do that" bit. They got it from Stan Freberg. And then, what was it? The old guy from the company comes in. Hey, I invited, he has some weird accent. "I invented this toy. I work for this company all my life."
Vague generic Eastern European accent of some kind. And he's a sweet old guy. He, of course, represents, the heart and soul of creativity.
The old ways.
And, confronting the new heartless computer age.
Right.
That will put him out of a job.
Which it does. Stan Freberg fires him for creating this crappy toy. What the hell is that toy?
He wants to fire him, but he's not.
Oh, that's right. He's not allowed. No, he does. He says, I can't fire him. But then he shows them this crappy wiggly toy that's just a triangle. Frankly, it's a triangle wrapped in cloth.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's not great.
And then I think he fires him right there. After telling Mike that he can't fire him, he fires him, walks off to booze. Are the computers booing him?
I thought that was pretty hilarious. The computers are booing the bad guy. That's pretty effing hilarious.
Right. So then Mike is sad, big-eyed Mike at home. But the guys are all happy because they're going to get paid.
And then there's a music video.
Saturday's Child is the song. So we have our first romp of the episode, Saturday's Child, with again playing with kids on the beach. Would not happen today.
Well, really?
So weird. I think no, they'd be playing with kids, but they wouldn't have the kids on their laps on the swings. That's inappropriate.
Oh wow! I'm
sorry.
I was transported to a more innocent time when
it always creeps me out
when grown men playing with children was not weird.
It is weird.
It just seems so happy and innocent. And I was so happy. I was like, oh, that beach looks familiar. It's so cool. And the kids are so diverse.
I know. That is good. There's like a little black kid, a little Asian kid.
There was like all shapes and colors and
boys and girls.
Yeah. So that was very cool to see.
Yeah. When I was younger watching it, I was like, yay, little kids. Now I'm like, why are you on his lap? Get that child off his lap.
Aww.
That should not happen.
What's wrong with Davy Jones having a little blonde girl sitting in front of him, bareback on a horse?
So romantic.
What's wrong with that?
No. Where'd that horse come from?
Pretty cute song too. I don't know. I hadn't heard that one before.
Oh yeah, Saturday's Child. I don't know who wrote that one. I wonder who in the stable of composers wrote that one. I don't remember off the top of my head. It has
this very and made me really think during the song. I was thinking, well, the Monkees, are they American? Because they've got Davy, so he's like the English representative. But that song had such a American beachy kind of not Beach Boys, but exactly, but a very American kind of sound.
Yes, definitely.
So I was like, well, the Monkees, was the concept of the Monkees supposed to be strictly American? And they thought, well, let's throw Davy Jones in there because
from what I understand, from my obsessive knowledge, I believe that Davy was already had a deal with the studio. Mm-hmm. I think they were just they were just like, we have this kid, and then this project came up and like, well, he's in. Yeah. He's a Broadway star. Look at him. Mm-hmm. He's beautiful. We're putting him on this show. Yeah, there was no way that he was not going to be cast in this. So I think he was already working for the studio or something. He had some kind of deal. But yeah, because he was on Broadway. And then for some reason he was in New York. I don't know why he came out to LA.
Yeah, he was the Artful Dodger, right?
Yes, the Artful Dodger. Yeah. Tony nominated.
Oh, anyway, my note just says beach full of diverse kids.
Yes. Beach of diversity. Yeah. Again, weird close-ups, quick cuts, bizarre angles. Like, I don't need to see Peter's feet, but okay.
Sure. Fun little unicycles.
Oh, yes. The fun unicycle bit.
They couldn't have packed any more fun action into that.
That was like somebody like Whammo or somebody had like made these unicycles and was like getting them on the show. And I think I've read somewhere or heard maybe it might have been the commentary on this very DVD where like Mickey or somebody was complaining about those unicycles, saying they were not very good. And so they did not get made. But they certainly did look cool.
Well, they do look cool.
They have little training wheels on them. Let's see. And then motorbikes at the end. Down the beach. Okay. So then they hatch a plan to get Pops' job back, right? Is that what the plan is? I don't know. They're getting their revenge on the toy company? I don't know why this plan exists.
I think the plot, the next whole segment or scene is the testing, product testing.
But like, why were they sabotaging the product testing?
This whole scene had more of a perfunctory feel to it. Like, we have to have a product testing scene. We have to bring kids in here. Stan Freberg has to get frustrated. He has to be kicked in the shin by each, monkey as they come in disguised as a child.
Hilarious when I was a kid. Now I'm like, ow, that really hurts, you guys. Stop kicking him in the shin.
It doesn't really have to make sense, though, does it? Does it have to make perfect sense? That it would take him so long to realize these are grown men, not children, and some of them are in drag and pretending to be women. And boy, it sure takes him a while.
Well, he's distracted. He's got to take care of JB,
He's very flustered.
Because JB can't figure out where to sit.
He did such a good job of being flustered and frustrated.
So good.
Okay, kids, play now. Come on, enjoy this toy. Come on now.
The thing he sneaks in, which I, again, did not notice until I was like listening to a commentary. He sneaks in, come on, these are educational toys. Teach you how to kill. Teach you
what?
To kill. Yes, you didn't catch that?
I remember now. I wasn't sure if that really happened. I thought I dreamed it.
Educational toys. Teach you to kill.
Wow. That had to be an improvisation.
Yes, of course. Yes, that was Stan Freberg.
I wonder how much of that, do they talk about that? Oh, and he just threw this line in. Anyway, I'd recommend this episode just for the Stan Freberg performance.
Definitely. So poor Peter's in terrible drag as whose mom was
some of it was pretty good. Mickey's drag was pretty good.
Everybody else's drag. Okay, this is a complaint I have. Everybody else's drag everybody else makes a beautiful woman at least one point in this series. Yes. Peter this is I think the only time he's in drag one more other time, but he wears the exact same terrible wig. Maybe Peter had a problem with being in drag, probably. But Peter should make a beautiful woman, is what I'm saying. Sure. And I'm upset that I never got that.
They should have gone hippie with him, like bangs and long straight hair,
center part,
and a little hippie dress. And
yes, he would have been beautiful. But then he wouldn't look like a mother,
like Marsha in the Brady Bunch or something.
Yes, that would have been gorgeous. Okay, I'm distracted now. All right, so yes, they come in as different children to throw off the product testing.
Hilariously,
yeah. What's the English boy name?
Davy,
thank you. Davy has a yo-yo so as to distract the other children from their fun toys. Davy, again, I think the best. One of the he's always acting. He's always doing a really good job. Something I never noticed as a kid, but he's always really acting his little butt off. I love Davy Jones so much.
He's immersed. He's in it.
He's in every scene. Distracting. He does a little beckoning thing with his head. Come on, kids, check out this yo-yo I got over here. And then when the Stan Freberg tries to take the yo-yo away, one child wants to murder Stan Freberg
for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. Yay, get mad at the man and like beat him up. I'm sure was the direction
because the script says so. Yeah,
and this kid is like, no, I'm gonna freaking kill this kid.
Yeah, he was into it too.
That's scary. Mickey comes in as a little boy, so cute, his little hat and his little innocent face, and the 4 and 20 Blackbird pie toy, like a Jack in the Box kind of toy. And then he blows it up because Mickey is the crazed scientist of the group. That is his role.
Does he tend to blow things up?
Yes, his role in the group is the crazy scientist. Something I didn't notice until I rewatched the series multiple times. I'm like, hey, Mickey's the crazy scientist one. So he's
the anarchist.
Oh no! Oh, the CIA was watching Mickey.
We've got and Mike is not establishment, but he is a little bit of a. I don't want to calling him the dad may not be accurate. Maybe he's more of he seems to be sort of the older, wiser, more steady, like I want to say the Buddha of the group, but he does have that calm, thinky approach.
Yes, calm and thinky.
Whereas Davy is the cute Lothario kind of, and Peter's just kind of innocent and oblivious a little bit, and Mickey's kind of I'd say he's a little bit of a rebel.
Yeah, he'll blow stuff up.
But I think they're it depends on the episode. I mean, not all these episodes are enjoyable, but I think they're kind of been underrated a little bit as a comedic team.
Definitely.
They're all very funny. They're all very good at what they do.
Yes.
Their little takes to camera, their little wink, at the, haha, look at this funny stuff we're doing.
Yes.
It's almost always successful. Yes. Well done.
Very true. Let's see. I wrote Peter's socks. Oh yeah. Peter comes in as a little boy, and he has his mismatched socks, as he always does.
Oh, I didn't notice.
I did, because Blu-ray beautifulness. I could see his little feet. I was like, oh, look, he's got his mismatched socks. And the putting together another toy sabotage thing, putting together a little bridge, slot A, slot B thing, and then
to show the failure of computer design.
That's right. This is the most boring product testing I was ever like. Let's put bridges together. What kid would be like, yay? That's the worst. Anyway, Peter sabotages it. Can I force it? It's my favorite line. Can we force it? He asks. Can we force it? Stan Freberg, very upset, rips the toys out of his hand. Children angry. Again, time to kill Stan Freberg by throwing toys at him. And I think there are people off screen throwing things at him because the toys are coming at just this angle that is impossible to achieve through all the kids on screen.
Teamsters are throwing toys.
Yes, just like they got everybody on set. Maybe there's a fan. I imagine there's a fan off set. People are just lobbing toys into it. And so they destroy the product. What is it called? Testing? And there's something other name for it. I can't think of it. Product testing, consumer or something. Anyway, they destroy that. So then Stan Freberg has to convince JB, aha, it is planned obsolescence. I did it on purpose. So they will buy more toys. And Mike's like, no. He brings in Pops with his weird triangle.
Not a boomerang thing.
Not a boomerang. First, what is the line he says? First it is a line, and now it is a curve. It's like, no, it's not. It was a terrible toy. Somehow this triggers Stan's memory, and he realizes fraud, conspiracy. For some reason, Mickey and Peter are still in the building.
Yeah.
The plant doing the product
suits now. In suits now.
Wait, wait, he has to rip off. We have to have the horrible ripping off of the woman's skirt.
Oh,
scene.
that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Oh boy.
So Peter and Mickey are still in there, and Peter messes it up, says that he's that Mickey teaches him to read while he's shaving.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy.
Peter. Oh, Peter.
Oh, that's so Peter.
That's so Peter. I don't know any That's So Raven jokes, or I would do one.
I don't either.
We're old. So then Stan Freberg rips the skirt off of an old fat lady.
Well, of course, because
hilarious.
if you find one man in drag, then all the women in the room have to be in drag, right?
This seriously is triggering
logically
for me. And I'm not making fun of them. I'm not trying to use that like sarcastically, but like as a larger lady, it has always been like a subconscious fear that I will be mistaken for a man. And like this scene was just like, this might have caused that, because this fat lady just comes in to pick up her son. It's like, what's going on here? Stan Freberg accuses her of being a man, rips off her skirt, and then she beats him up.
It was kind of uncomfortably done. It wasn't just you, because I felt uncomfortable about it, especially since Stan Freberg reaches for her belt for what seems like forever. And she would have noticed and slapped his hand away or moved away or done something.
That's true.
It was so prolonged. So prolonged.
It was like this is the fifth take, and they couldn't figure out how to get that skirt off. And they're like, Stan, you're just gonna have to unbutton that skirt. I'm sorry, Stan. Really? That's awkward. No, Stan, come on, time is money.
We'll speed it up in editing. Or not.
The lady's like, really? I just stand here and let him do. Okay, all right. Yeah, because I was just mesmerized by watching his hand go towards her skirt and then like kind of unbutton
just
things.
Sort of hang there for a while.
Oh, there's like a whole new angle to the horribleness.
It's so Gilligan's Island though. It's that I'm good. You aren't a woman after all. Rip wig off.
Yeah.
And it comes off so easily.
Right,
it's never
nobody uses glue.
It's never pinned on or anything.
Nobody pins anything. All right. So yeah, the poor. Anyway, so let's see what happens after that horrible scene. Pops is hanging out with the Monkees at the pad.
Sure, of course he is.
Because you know what? They are nice boys. That's why.
Yeah.
They are good boys.
Come home with us.
Come hang with us, Pops. And Pops wants them to throw out the toy. He hates it. And has it already been melded into not the same toy anymore?
Yeah, it's suddenly just not the same thing at all. It's now a boomerang.
Now it's a boomerang. And so somebody throws it. I think Davey throws it out first.
It comes back.
And then it comes back and lands next to Mickey, who is polishing his drums.
Right.
Is that something people do? I've never seen. Do people polish up their drums?
I'm not a drummer, but no. I'm going to say no.
Okay, because he's committed.
You've never seen anyone a room full of people slower on the uptake. That boomerang, it comes back. Mickey, what's this? Throws it out the window. Doesn't pay attention. It comes back again. Mickey and then like Mike notices. Wait, how did this get here? How many of these did you make? Are there many of them in this room now?
Yeah, Pop snuck in earlier, peppered the apartment with boomerangs.
There's some selective perception going on here. It's just like, no, they can't notice. We have to play this out as long as we've got time left in this script. We've got to eat up another minute or two. So it took forever. It took forever
to realize it's a boomerang.
And they never say the word boomerang.
Because that's a thing.
Right.
Pops has invented a thing that already exists in the world.
That Australians invented, right?
I believe so. Yes. I think it's Australian.
But again, doesn't have to make sense. It's the Monkee show.
So just like Columbus discovering America, Pops invents the boomerang.
Everything was going so well, and now it's just starting to fray around the edges a little bit.
Although we do get Mike's most southern line, I think. David, can you hand me the paper? I want to look at them want ads. He says. It's beautiful.
He is very Texas sometimes.
Oh, look at them want ads.
Mm-hmm.
Pass me them want ads. So now Pops is taken back to the company. And JB is impressed, and Pops is now the general manager.
We have a turnaround.
If you look at my notes, it says General Manger because I can't spell.
Sure.
Pops is now general manager. Mike, I think, is given a job. I'm not sure what happens there.
We're not going to know because in the next episode, this will never have, none of this will have happened, right?
Yeah, you're right.
There's no continuation.
Nobody gets it. Nobody keeps a job. He's a musician.
It's a total reset. Every episode's a reset.
Which I love. I love that. I miss that about sitcoms, you know? You don't have to have a continuing overarching story. Just start over the next episode.
Not to the extreme where, everybody's going to die at the end and then they're all going to be alive in the next show.
I don't mind that, actually.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the young ones. That would happen to them.
Yes.
People would die. The buildings would blow up.
Yeah.
Next episode, they're all still there. Yeah.
They're all fine. All right, am I allowed? It's my podcast. I'm going to talk about other podcasts.
This is not a young ones podcast. You are not
but
allowed.
I was just reminded of the whole how did this get made controversy over the Fred movie. What's that? Drop Dead Fred. Are you not familiar with this?
I know Rick Mayall is in it. That's all I know.
The communities are ripped in two, whether they are Team Fred or Team Sanity.
No, I remember clearly when the movie came out and I looked at the trailer in horror and it was just like, oh no, I can't watch this.
We rented it.
So I don't know.
In high school. I watched it as a high schooler and we loved it. We were too old for it, but we're like, yes. And Rick Mayall, I mean.
Well, I loved Rick. Deeply.
Could do no wrong.
And abidingly.
All right. Off topic. How did we get to, Young Ones. That's how we got there.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this episode wrap up?
Well, Clarksville.
Yeah, but how do we get to Clarksville? They
give me the one edge.
Give me the one edge.
What? And they get a computer somehow.
Right. I think JB gives them a computer to help them find a job. Oh wait, Peter. We forgot Peter messes things up again because for some reason somebody throws the boomerang out the window again. And then Peter's like, I'm going to close the window. It's cold in my suit. And he closes the window and then the boomerang. And then Mike's like, catch that there boomerang there, Peter. And it's the broken window.
Breaks the window. Ha ha.
Oh, Peter.
Candy glass. Yay. So much fun.
Candy glass.
Well, they used to actually make it. That's what they used to call it. Fake glass.
Really?
Because it would shatter. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like made out of sugar. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Candy glass.
Oh, could you eat the set?
All of the breakaway glass on old TV shows is all candy glass.
Oh, that's gross. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. All right. So then we have our final musical romp. They're all back home, I think, in their suits still, crowded around.
Well, they're trying to find a job. The computer spits out a punch card,
so they got
they look at it, and it's just full of holes. But somehow that translates into construction job.
Yeah. And they take to the camera.
Or baling hay.
And we got Last Train to Clarksville is our song, which was their first big hit, I believe. And
that's a good one.
I still love it. I'm not sick of that song.
You can't, no.
So it's the wacky job montage, the construction site where Mickey's on a plank on the edge of a building, and then they're sawing that plank in half. Mickey,
cartoon,
look out. What other? Yeah, then this wackiness on a construction site.
Oh, Peter's in a bale of hay. It's hilarious. You guys.
That makes me itchy. That scene, I can't enjoy.
It actually doesn't sound as good as it is. No. All of their music videos, of course, they weren't called that.
No,
music videos weren't invented yet. But these are music videos,
yeah, they are, yes.
And they are all, it's the fast cutting, it's the editing. As we all know, Mike Nesmith invented the music video.
Yes, he did,
with elephant parts in the late 70s. So,
yep.
To be discussed at a previous at a future episode, I'm sure you'll.
Oh, I'm sure
you'll make the elephant parts episode.
Oh
right?
Boy, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. I have fond memories of elephant parts. I'm just afraid if I go back and watch it, I'll be like, oh, this was not that funny. You know what I mean?
A lot of it holds up.
Okay, good.
I've seen it literally 100 times.
Oh, okay, good.
And from day one, we had it on Laserdisc.
Wow.
And video. I think my family has at some point owned all three formats: Laserdisc, VHS, and DVD.
I think Cheryl too was talking about having
because the Laserdisc had 2 short clips cut out of it because it wouldn't quite fit on the Laserdisc.
Oh no!
So 2 little bits.
What's the point of the Laserdisc if you can't fit all the information on there?
Oh, but it was so crystal clear.
Oh.
And you could freeze frame it, and it had perfect freeze frame.
Really?
It was the first video format that had perfect freeze frames.
Oh.
Because VHS or Beta, you couldn't get a perfect still image.
Oh. But how would you get it?
Well, and perfect searchability. Chapters,
Oh, yes. I do remember the chapters.
I mean, they're basically just huge DVDs, but they did have storage problems because it was a lot of information.
Oh, huh. We did not have friends had Laserdisc players. I remember watching terrible movies on Laserdisc though. Like, I don't know, maybe this is a good movie. The Last Boy Scout or whatever. I don't know. Is that a good movie? I don't remember.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
Never saw it.
Yeah. I remember watching that on
There was
Laserdisc.
odd stuff on Laserdisc because the licensing, like there was very limited number of movie studios or production companies that believed in the format because it was anti-movie. Just like, we don't want home video because that's going to eat into our profits. And so they were not really on board.
Which is a problem that Michael Nesmith ran into as he was trying to promote Elephant. Oh, we went back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else about the jobs montage? Like, say they did the bail.
No,
and then didn't it switch? It switched to a performance at some point. Yes,
that's true. It went to a live.
It was just like, let's look at Peter Tork's hips for a while. Okay.
It seemed to be kind of a close up on Davy Jones' crotch area, yes. Kind of for no reason.
I think we're supposed to be looking at the maracas.
Yes, of course we are. Get it? Maracas.
Check out the maracas.
Watch Davy shake those maracas, you guys.
He held so many maracas in one hand. Though.
I wasn't convinced that Peter Tork knew what a bass was or how you were supposed to play it because he was strumming.
He does
quite enthusiastically, and I wasn't sure if he was doing it for humor or not. It could have been funny bass playing on purpose.
Honestly, I think he does know how to. I think out of all,
no, he can play.
He knows how to play the bass.
I've seen him play the banjo. I know he can play it.
Oh, banjo. But yeah,
there was a little bit of
what's happening.
There was a little bit of funny miming, like they weren't trying to be exact
because they didn't play them instruments.
They were just they did kind of.
You just not that they didn't record that track though. That's
they
for darn sure.
They also didn't take it that seriously, which is kind of fun.
Which is fun. That gross orange curtain behind them. I hate that yellow curtain, that yellow orange curtain behind them, and then they're wearing red. It's just all very McDonald's looking to me.
Circusy kind of. Yeah, it's kind of strange.
I don't like that. But the reds really pop on this Blu-ray. Everybody pops.
And everybody's just as cute as they can be.
Yeah. Oh, and then they get progressively angrier at the punch cards that are coming out.
Oh, Mike did a great mugging face.
Yes, I have angry Mike written in my notes. Oh, he's so angry at them cards. It's a
first class mugging.
So good. And they rip them up in anger. How dare these cards? It's so good. This episode is not the best, but one of the best. Monkee versus Machine. Any favorite performances? I mean, Stan Freberg, I guess, is the star of this episode.
A+.
There's nobody else.
10 out of 10.
But like any overlooked performances that you can think of.
I really think even the Mike Nesmith scene where he's really sympathetic to the old inventor, toy inventor guy. He had some sincere acting going on.
That is true.
He had a really nice, sincere face, a disappointed face or an empathetic
yes.
face, It was just like, aw.
Mike cares.
Some good stuff going on there.
Yeah, he's good.
It's good. The director, of course, Bob Rafelson, the guy who directed Head, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can tell, really good direction.
Yeah.
There's a really good comedic sense. And all the performances are first class.
Yeah, there's nobody bad at all.
Oh no, all the character actors are really good.
I'm worried about that little kid though that wanted to kill Stan Freberg so bad.
Even the kids were good.
But he was good. He was convincing, a little too convincing.
Because very often kids on old TV are just horrible. They can just be terrible at it. Yeah, some of them can be.
Even that poor lady that gets her skirt ripped off. She's good.
Oh, yep.
I'm worried about the secretary, though. The secretary. She wasn't given much.
Well cast, though.
Secretary. I don't know why she upsets me so much. She's at the beginning of the episode. We never see her again. Well, how does she feel about things? Is she JB's buddy?
Let's hear her story.
Yes. What happened? Does she have a name?
Of course not. She's a woman.
No.
She doesn't have a story.
You know what? Maybe she turns into Petula. Maybe she and Petula, maybe her soul has been split into two. Oh, I'm writing something. So her soul has been split into two.
Is this Monkees fan fiction?
Yeah, this is like Monkees like anime fanfic thing I've got going here where with the Elric brothers, what the frick is the name of that anime where like
I'm the wrong person to ask.
The Elric brothers and they're doing like alchemy and like they're trying to bring their mother back from the dead. Anyway, so it's in that universe, and poor Petula the secretary has her soul split into two, and half of her is in that weird machine, and then half of her is that's why she's so disengaged, seemingly disengaged at the beginning of the episode.
Sure.
Full Metal Alchemist. Thank you. This is a Full Metal Alchemist crossover. So that's why she's so disengaged at the beginning, because she's not her full self anymore.
I'll buy that.
So part of her is in one of the machines in the room. So, Petula has been split. That's her story.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's going to do it. Lee, where can we find your beautiful music that touches my soul so deeply?
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your pea-picking heart. I'm going to become Southern again.
Take a look at them want ads.
Bless you.
Kitty cat.
Bless you, kitty.
Kitty sneeze.
I live at leequick.com. Come and pay me a visit sometime. Mm-hmm. I exist on the social medias, mostly because I just create accounts on each social media platform so nobody else steals my name.
Good thinking.
I'm not on the internet that much, frankly. But I'm there. You can find me. I teach lessons, so if you want to learn ukulele, hit me up.
She's your girl. Your woman. My mistake.
Uke, bass. I'll teach you how to play bass, not the way Peter plays it.
Not the hip action?
No, not the slapping, strumming action.
Thumb, strum, hip action. Yep. Grin.
And thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming
here. This is my third podcast ever.
Yay. So if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. Find us on all social media at Monkees Podcast. That's MonkeesPawdcast. And could you please support the show by getting official podcast merch at dragonwagonshop.com? Of course you can. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Monkees Podcast. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye, Lee.
Bye.
If you are enjoying this podcast and other podcasts on the Dragon Wagon Radio Network, be sure to check out the Dragon Wagon Shop. Awesome t-shirts and mugs from your favorite shows so you can tout your podcast pride, all while supporting your favorite indie podcast network. And make sure to check it often for new items and limited time designs. So shop now at dragonwagonshop.com and get your dragon swag on.
It's Dragon Wagon.